Good text effects can take your videos from boring to interesting. So in this video I'm going to show you 3 ways you can animate your text, going from easy to advanced. So let's not waste any more time and get right started with the first one. Now as you can see, we're already in After Effects and I created this text effect right here. There are 2 ways to create an effect, one that is pretty easy and one that is a bit harder, but also looks better. So let's start with the easy one. For the easy one, come down to the bottom left and click on your text effect and expand it. Then click on animate and select character offset. Now you created an animator and with this you can animate your text. Click on add on the right side again and add an opacity property. Then turn down the opacity to 0 so you cannot see the text. Now go to the range selector, hit the stopwatch next to start, go 1 frame ahead and then drag it fully up. And now you already have this really simple effect. Now this is the easy effect as already said. Now let me show you how you can create a bit more advanced one but also a bit better looking one. Again, come down to the range selector, first of all remove the keyframe and go back right here. Now go into the advanced settings, change the shape from square to ramp up, the ease high to -25 and the ease low to 100. Then go to the first frame of your video, hit the stopwatch next to offset, turn it down to -100 and go 2 seconds ahead, or let's say 1 second and 12 frames and turn it up to 100. Now this text effect is still really normal because what you'll have to do is add 2 more properties. So close this animator out, click on add property and select scale and again click on it and select blur. Now come down to the scale and the blur, turn the scale up to around 115 and the blur as well to around 20. Oh yeah, and I forgot, also make sure to turn down the start to 0. And now you get this really easy text effect, and if you put it into comparison with the one before, you can see that right here there's much more happening. So yeah, those 2 effects are really simple, but if you use them correctly, they can already look really good. The next and more advanced text effect is this one. I don't really have a name for it, but let me show you how you can create it. So we're again in Adobe After Effects and we have this text effect right here. Now let me show you how you can put on the effect you saw a second ago. So come down to the bottom left, click on the text effect and this time come up to the effect and preset page and search for a transform and drag it on. Now you have this transform effect in the top left under your effect controls and basically you can control all the position, the size as well as the opacity with it. Now go to the first frame of your text and hit the stopwatch next to opacity as well as the stopwatch next to position. Now after clicking on both stopwatches, go 1 second ahead, select the text and hit U on the keyboard to open up both the keyframes and create 2 more keyframes by clicking on this symbol right here. Then go back to the first frame of your video, turn up the position by around 60 to 70 and turn down the opacity to 0. Now we already get this slide in right here, but it doesn't really look good yet. So get back into After Effects, open up the keyframes again by pressing U and then select both of them and hit F9 on your keyboard to easy ease them. Now open the graph editor by clicking right here and you will see those 2 graphs. If not, make sure they're enabled right here and that you selected the speed graph and not the value graph. Now we can start to make the graph look a bit cleaner. So let me show you how it works. Simply highlight both of these and drag the left one in until you see an influence of around 87 and the left one to the left until you see an influence of 0.01. And this way you get this text effect and this looks way better. And yeah, now the only thing that's left to do is to split the text and the effect. There actually is a plugin for that. I introduced it in this video right here. But for such a small effect, you can also do it by hand. Simply go down to the text effect, select it, hit Command or Control D to duplicate it and then click on the lower text effect, go up to the rectangle tool. So select the rectangle tool and draw over the effect to create a mask. Now go to the second layer and draw over text. And now we have 2 separate layers. One is the text and one is the effect. And now the only thing we have to do is put the upper one 5 frames ahead or some. So I will just do 5 frames. Let's see how this looks. And yeah, that's the wrong way. Wait, let me do it the other way around. I think that should work now. Yeah. And to make this look better, you will also have to enable motion blur. and now this looks really clean. And that's already it for this text effect. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, the third and the hardest text effect to create is the stroke effect or the writing effect. This is basically where you imitate a hand writing something, and I use it in a lot of edits. So let me show you how it works. Okay, so we're back in Adobe After Effects, and before we do anything, we have to make sure that there is no effect or preset on the text, otherwise it won't work. You can do that later, so you can add glow or drop shadow later, but you need to make sure that it's empty for now. Now open up the text and zoom in a bit so you have it closely right here. Then go up to the pen tool, and what you'll have to do now is draw like you would draw with your hand. So for example, NT, you would first draw this line right here and then draw this line right here. By the way, to create a new line, you will have to press Command or Control plus left click, and then you will be able to create one. Now let's do the same for the E. So start right here, do this, and then just go around until you have a clean mask around it. Make sure to not close it, because otherwise everything will disappear and it won't work. Now you have to do this for every single letter in your word. I know this takes some time, but trust me, it will be worth in the end. And yeah, I'll see you once I have it done. Okay, this took around 2 minutes to create, but we now have all the masks drawn down. And the next thing we have to do is add the stroke effect. So select the text effect, come up to the top right, to the effects and presets, and search for stroke. You will find it under generate, and then drag it onto your text effect. Now nothing will happen, because what you'll have to do is you need to come to the top left, hit all masks, and now every mask is selected for the effect. The next thing you have to do is change the paint style from on original image to reveal original image, and now it will look like that. This isn't really good, so what you'll have to do is you need to change the brush size to around 5. It really depends on the thickness of your text. I think it's actually a bit more for me right now. Yeah, so around 15, 16, it really depends on the text size. I think my text right now is really big, and so I'll have to turn it up to 16 or even more. Hold up, roughly like so. So you can see the text clearly and there's nothing missing. Now you can easily animate it like we did with the other effects, simply by going to the end keyframe, hitting the stopwatch, going 2 frames ahead, and then opening up the keyframe menu by pressing U, clicking on this right here, and then turning it down for the first frame. And now we get this text effect, and you can really see that it looks like it's writing instead of just fading in. Okay, that's it for the video. 3 text effects sorted from easy to advanced. If you don't want to create these effects over and over again, but rather want a drag and drop preset, you can check out the first link in the description, where I uploaded the drag and drop presets for free. That's it for the video. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.